The one involves me personally. Me and Jay Diamonds. Me and Jay Diamonds go back to Spofford days. Me, I'm from Brownville. Jay Diamonds, he from Albany Projects and Crown Heights or somewhere around that area. You know what I'm saying? Me and son was in Spofford together. We was in Brace Residential up north. That's a DFY together. We used to cause mad ruckus in Spofford together back in the days. That was my guy. You know what I'm saying? For real, that was my peoples. That was the peoples. You know what I'm saying? And so me, so now we on Rikers Island. I got a little more Rikers Island experience than him. He came through like 93 or 94. I already been, you know what I'm saying? Early 94, somewhere like that. You know what I mean? I already been to the island before and all that. So, but he was embraced because, you know, he from Brooklyn. Brooklyn had shit on Smash. So he knew a couple of dudes. He was good money. Plus, he wasn't no sucker. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't no sucker. So he doing his thing in his houses, the houses he in, the houses I'm in. We never landed in the same house until we both ended up in one main bang. So we both ends up in one main bang. We cool. We good money. That's the peoples. Like, we wasn't allowing no suicide, as I explained in one of my stories, to work there unless they was fully with the program. If I ain't want to suicide aid there, Jay Diamonds, who was called JJ at the time, would have no problem reaching through the gate, shooting the shit out of the motherfucker. And I did the same thing. That's what we did. And we did. You had to do everything we said or you was out of there. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, you know, Jay Diamonds them come up under me a little bit. You know what I mean? But son was a stand-up dude, official dude. I'm just a little older than him. So now, something happened. Like, we was always on the same page. But he went to HD and Bing. When he went to HD and Bing, he came back blood. He ended up getting shot over there by a dude named, some Spanish dude named L, if I remember that name correctly. And SI ended up shooting L for shooting Jay Diamonds. And that's why Jay Diamonds felt, you know, I guess he felt obligated to become blood. So he became blood because SI didn't have to do that. Jay Diamonds wasn't blood. You know what I'm saying? But he still shot the dude for shooting Jay Diamonds. His name was JJ. His name wasn't Jay Diamonds until years later. So anyway, so when he got shot, he comes to the building. He comes to the 4 building. Back to one main bang. Me, I'm down there. Bree down there, my son Bree. Hamo from Albany Projects. VI from Albany Projects. Mayor from Far Rockaway. You had this kid named Twan from Red Hook. You had Mel from Harlem. You know what I mean? You had a nice little unit down there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was litty down there. Like, we was doing Papa Jock. You know what I'm saying? And you had a couple of motherfuckers down there. On the other side, you had Tank Head. You had Lecturer. You had Lil Wise Red. You had Doggy Dog. You know what I mean? All of them was on that side. But that side couldn't fuck with our side at all, on no level. You know what I mean? They used to have to come to us to get bug. We used to send them sticks, like, here, yo, y'all split that. Facts. Yeah, we was fucked up. But anyway, so Jay Diamonds, he come back to one main after he got cut in HDM. So I just noticed he had a little change in his attitude, like we didn't seem like we was on the same page. And a couple of times I had to check him, like, who the fuck you talking to? Because he wasn't never talking to me crazy. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't talking to me crazy now. But you know how you can hear when a motherfucker's like saying shit that's kind of like rubbing you wrong way without saying shit? It was like that. And one day it came full circle. And this is why I never was one of them type of dudes that play. And this is one of the days that I did. We all on a gate catching wreck. And shit started getting serious among like 2 different groups of people, but we all peoples. And, Yeah, I forgot how it went, when it was over. So make a long story short, JJ, you know, he told me, I said something to me. He said to me, I'm about to tell you something real erotic. Yo, everybody shut down. Everybody got quiet. It was like, I'm like, yo, he might as well should have got his money's worth. I'm like, I'm in his ass out. Like, what? You know, like, I already sensed that he went to HDM and came back with a different attitude, but now this shit came out. So now I'm like, oh, hell no. You telling me that? All right. So the very next day, yo, I was so tight, I couldn't even sleep that night. I couldn't wait to get out my cell. You know what I mean? So we go to the yard the next day, but it was raining, so a lot of dudes ain't put down. I put down because I was just going to air this motherfucker out. I wasn't going, but he didn't go out. And I'm not saying he didn't go out because he was scared or nothing. It was just like, I guess he felt, because it was so much of that going around, people saying that to each other. I believe that, I mean, it's some disrespectful shit to say, but he didn't think much on it. Real shit, because he didn't come out the next day, and the way that I got it was just too easy. He wasn't even on point. So like a couple of weeks before that, he showed me a picture of this female cousin of his, but I never gave him back the picture. I forgot to have it. I was talking to Shorty on the phone a couple of times and all that, but I never gave him the picture. I was trying to keep, he ain't asked for it. It just never slipped my mind. So when I came out myself for rec the next day, he didn't come out. I was like, damn, I got the gat in my hand already. I'm like, so I took the picture and put the gat under the picture. I knocked on the cell, he in the bed sleep. I'm like, yo, man, get up, man. I was like, yo, you violated yesterday. But he was like, yo, son. I was like, nah, nigga, I said, nah, you violated. Here go your picture, man. Take your fucking picture, man. He was like, yo, man, just leave it on my gate. I said, you know that shit gonna fall. But when he got up, I see he had on a hoodie. It looked like he had double layers on. So I had this ratchet, so I ran to my son Bree's cell. Just before that, Bree had this, we all had one, but Bree was already right there. He had 3 rugs in one holster. You know what I mean? Put that shit, he gave me that shit, so I went back to Sunset with the picture under. By that time, he was on his gate. I was like, son, you violated yesterday, bro. Fuck, tell me some shit like that. He was like, yo, son, I'm saying, so I put my hand through his gate, like I was giving him the picture, and as soon as he reached for it, I just reached out, boom. I tried to get him, but I missed his face and shit. He came down, boom. I thought I missed him. I was like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Boom. So I went to Bree's house like, damn, man, he seen it coming. I missed him. I ain't really know. I felt the shit rub against his sweater, but like I said, he was double layered, so I thought I missed him. I go to Bree's cell. I said, damn, son. Then I hear him, he say, yo, VI, yo, homo. Yo, this exact word. Yo, this nigga. He said that just like that. Yo, this nigga Teebone just cut me. That's how I know I got him. I ain't know. I thought I missed him. I was like, oh, I got this motherfucker. All right. You know what I'm saying? Boom. So now, of course, he ain't blow it up. You know what I'm saying? He you know what I mean? He went fixed up or whatever the case may be. But boy, oh boy, we gate banged from there on out. Because he ended up going up north. But before that, now I left I say he ended up going up north. Like 2 days later, 2 days later, I give him that. Like 2 days later, we going to rec. So now he's coming out his cell, right? They burnt him for rec like the next 2 days or some shit like that because they knew somebody cut him. They just didn't know who. So now, like 2 months before that, Maya and a kid named and Twan from Red Hook, they had a fight on the gallery. It started in the yard. This is Peoples on Peoples. Twan washed Maya. So then when they got in the next day, Maya came out. Now you supposed to come out just selling your boxes and with your clothes in your hand. Maya came out fully dressed. And Twan came out in his boxers. So when they came out for rec, Maya surprised, but Maya ended up getting washed again. I got to keep it real. Because Twan was a tall motherfucker. But Maya tried. He went out. He ain't lose no brownie points. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, salute to Maya. I heard Twan pass. RP to him. So I'm on the gate with my clothes in my hand. And while I'm waiting, I'm hearing the CO set up the equipment to let us out. But a thought hit me. I said, hold the fuck up. Hold up. he gonna try that May shit. So I gets dressed real quick. My cell all the way in the back. So I said, if I stick my head out and he in his boxers, then I'm just gonna strip real quick and come out in my boxers. But if I stick my head out and this motherfucker dressed, I'm already dressed. So my shit on, cause I said, watch he try that shit. They opened up the cells. I stuck my head out, and sure enough, this motherfucker was dressed. He was trying to May I and twirl my shit. Nah, baby. He came out fully dressed. Everybody else came out in these boxers. I'm putting my hand out. I'm like, come on, because my cell in the back. Your cell in the front. Make a long story short, he comes running to the back. I got my ratchet, but I'm playing with it because I'm so cocky, you know what I mean? I'm shooting shit. I'm cocky with this shit, so I'm playing with this. I got a rug. I'm throwing my shit. I'm playing with this motherfucker, you know what I mean? He really swinging, boom. Police come down. They run. You know, they wrestling with him. He trying to, you know, save the razor, get it out, get away. I threw that shit at the police. The razor, I threw that shit at the motherfuckers. I had so many of them, shit didn't even matter. I go in my cell, and guess what? I got a fucking cut on my leg. Like, I got a little cut on my leg. It wasn't a cut deep enough for me to have to get stitches. But what I did was, before I even get into that, I'm gonna get back into that. Check this shit out. I never saw JJ again face to face. I saw him one time in Coxsackie. I was in E block long-term keep block. He was in E block long-term. No, I was in F block long-term keep block. He was in E block keep block. But I was able to see him in the cage. But we didn't get to each other. I ended up leaving, going to Southport, whatever the case may be. He ended up going wherever he went, and boom. So this is in 1994. I don't see this motherfucker all the way until 2013, 14. That's 20 years later. He on that same bid. I'm on a whole new bid, but I just got a reversal, right? I got about 11 years in at this time, but he got 20 years in. You know what I'm saying? So they called me down to court. I'm in Auburn at the time. And then I go down to Auburn to, I go back down to Rikers Island because I just got my reversal. And you know how downstate you always see a motherfucker. I remember giving the police my ID card, and I turned around and this motherfucker standing right there. This is the first time I seen him face to face since then. You know what I mean? I put my hand on my mouth like I had a ratchet. Someone was like, yo, man, hold up, man. We was kids, my dude. We was kids. That shit ain't about nothing. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at him like, because I'm going to keep it real with you. I've been hearing about him over the years. Mind you, I knew him as JJ. My son Ro was like, yo, you don't know who J Diamonds is? Because I heard his name is something. I forgot what it was. He's like, yeah, you know him. I said, I don't know nobody named J Diamond. He said, that's JJ. I said, get the fuck out of here. Word. I always wondered what happened to him, but all this time I was hearing about him, just didn't know that was him. You know what I'm saying? So me seeing him saying, yo, I wasn't trying to really buy that shit, but I didn't really have a ratchet in my mouth, but I know he know how I do, so he ain't going to take a chance if I go do some shit like this. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we end up getting cuffed next to each other. So we talking, but I'm watching him the whole time. You know what I'm saying? We going down to Rikers Island. I'm going on my reversal. They put me in 2 upper. They put him in Mod 2. Now I'm in 2 upper with a whole, back in the days, 2 upper in the 4 building used to be an adolescent house, but now it's an adult house. Mad blood dudes is in that motherfucking house. I got a blicky on me. I got one, but I'm like, at the end of the day, I already know. I'm gonna do what I do. But I ain't Superman, but I'm gonna do what the fuck I do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm listening to this, I hear this motherfucker, from Mod 2, you can see 2 upper. I hear this motherfucker saying, yo, he talking to the homies that's in my house, his homies, and he mentioned me, but he was like, yo, that's the brother, that's the bro, that's peoples, we go all the way back, make sure he good. But you know me, I'm still like, this motherfucker trying to rock me because he got to know I can hear him, even though he don't know which side of 2 up I'm on. But that's what and I'm listening out for codes and shit because I know some of them shits. I've been in prison a long time. So I know some of them codes. I'm like, the first wrong word I hear, I'm coming out swinging that thing. And I'm down here on the reversal. So I really wasn't looking for that type of action, but I wasn't going to let nothing happen to me. So, but I was on point, but that shit turned out to be sincere, yo. That shit turned out to be real sincere. I bumped into son on a visit. We got mad tight again. So, and I'm going to reveal something. I went back to my cell with a cut on my leg, yo. He never knew this. Only 2 people know this, and one of them is dead. It's Papa Jock and Bree. When I went back to my cell, and I noticed I had a cut on my leg, it wasn't no deep cut. I ain't even need no stitches. I took the black tape off my ratchet and closed that shit with that. Shit kept out and just left it, fuck it. But that ain't the point. The point is, I got my scar in combat. Like you know what I mean? But he didn't even know he did it. In fact, he don't know he did it until he hear this shit. Or unless word get back to him. I didn't want, that shit couldn't be on my name. Like me losing it, like I was Top Gun. Like facts, like I'm not supposed to lose. I'm not a gun, even if it's just a little bullshit leg shot. Nah. So the narrative I created, or me, Bree and Papa Jock, I made a mistake and cut myself. Everybody went for that shit. Nobody questioned, not even him. I remember when we was gate banging in Kaksaki, gate on the gate, when I was in the thing and he was in the cages and we gate banging out the window. He's like, yo, yeah, you cut yourself, not knowing that he the one that did it. I couldn't let that be known. Like, I'd rather take the hit for me accidentally cutting myself than to give him the accolades for cutting a motherfucker like me, because he was just JJ at the time. He wasn't J Diamonds. Him got me, even though it's a bull, and I had a rug. I hit him first, but I hit him through the gate. He got me in combat. I didn't even tell him that in 2014. See, the reason why I ain't tell him that before that is because, like I said, pride was in the way. I ain't admitting no defeat. That's really a defeat. Even though I ain't lose no sleep, I ain't was like, it was on to the next. I'm laughing and joking. But he shed my blood in combat. You know what I mean? And I couldn't admit that. So Bree, Papa Jock, none of them never said nothing. Only us knew. In fact, we just put out that I accidentally cut myself. I accidentally scratched myself. You know what I mean? When I bumped into him in 2013, 14, I started to tell him then after I seen that everything was sincere. But the reason why I didn't is because, being honest, he had the numbers. He could have pushed the button on me at any time. I didn't want to reveal that, oh yeah, you got, because it would have made it seem like I'm just saying that now, because why didn't I say that then? So I wanted him to still believe that I got my shit off, but he didn't get nothing off, even if I'm in a building with him and he got the numbers. I didn't want to make it seem like, yo, and maybe that's foolish pride on my behalf. You know what I mean? But I didn't want to give it to him then. Like, as far as like, yo, son, you know that shit? And we talked about that shit a little bit. We didn't get into details, but he's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? But like, yo, that shit was never supposed to happen. I remember like, yo, son, you remember that leg shot that everybody thought that I did that myself by accident? You know you really did that, right? I couldn't bring myself to say that while he got the numbers, because to me, in my mind, it would have seemed, I know if a motherfucker told me that, I'm going to be like, you going to tell me that now because I already told motherfuckers you good, now you rubbing it in. I'm going to think you fronting because you ain't never tell me that before. So me revealing that now, I don't lose or gain anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, in fact, I'm admitting, in fact, I'll lose. You can fronting all this time about that shit, you know what I mean? But I gave my reasons, either you accept it or you don't. You know what I mean? Because everything ain't got the end on the fucked up shit. And I remember my cousin, I didn't see J Diamond since I've been home. Salute to him, man. And I heard he, you know, I didn't see him since I've been locked up, but he was in a club one day with my cousin. And my cousin put me, he said, yo, somebody want to speak to you. And it was him, my cousin Brady Cash. It was him. And we spoke and shit, you know what I mean? And, you know, I don't regret too much different shit, but that's one that I could say, damn,